I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to remove this head unit, and I kid you not, about 30 seconds. I'm not going to say this is the easiest head unit to remove, but I would say it's definitely up there on easiest head units to get out of a vehicle. It is super simple. This head unit's in the same way a factory unit's in, so if you have a factory unit, this is the exact same steps and procedures. It literally takes about 30 seconds. So here, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. So you're supposed to use a trim panel removal tool. I have them, but a lot of people don't. So just for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna use a flathead screwdriver. This is more prone to cause damage. So if you have a trim panel removal tool, I highly recommend to use it to avoid causing damage. I've taken my head unit apart probably around 100 times or so. So all my clips are gonna be much looser. So if you've never taken yours apart, yours might be a little bit firmer, which will require a little bit more force. But all you're gonna need is a flathead screwdriver and/or if you really have a trim panel removal tool, I highly recommend that, and a 10mm. There's 4 10mm bolts, and the rest is clips. There's nothing that holds this HVAC panel in. So the first thing you do is remove this. I have some lights in here. We're gonna go ahead and pry those down. Just pop, clip here, clip on that side. Just work your way around it. Take your time, don't rush it. Try not to damage it. Once that's out the way, if you look down here, there's a 10mm there, a 10mm there, there's a 10mm there, and a 10mm there, right there. I don't have these bottom two in right now, but these top two are in. Same thing as these bottom two. So you just take these 4 10mm out, and then once they're out, there's little clips that hold this head unit in. Same thing on the factory unit. Just pry out very carefully. Here's your factory unit. Whenever you pull your factory unit out, you're just going to disconnect these 4 harnesses here. These harness connectors, you'll have one there, one there, one there, one there. There's just 4 in total. Yours may be a little bit different, may have more or less, but there's just a little pull tab. You'll just pull and then yank, and it will pop right out. Just be careful. It is plastic and it can break. So just be careful. If you have to, you can use pliers. I don't recommend it because metal and plastic doesn't mix well. That's definitely break something. So if you can, just use your fingers. Just get a good grip on it. You might have to wiggle it, shimmy it, but they just unplug. And then your antenna right over here on the corner, same thing. Just yank it out. It'll all come out. Okay. So whenever your head unit comes, it's going to come with the chassis disassembled. Here's your chassis. So if you have your factory head unit, there's 2 ways to mount this. They give you the option to mount this with your factory bracket kit. They also give you a way to mount this with push-style clips. If you do not have this bracket kit or you just don't want to deal with this, there is a alternative way to mount this with the push clips, and I will be showing that as well. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and show you the way with the bracket kit. Regardless, you're going to need this singled-in kit to include. Make sure the right is corresponding with your right if you have your factory head unit. You can see your right-hand bracket there, right-hand bracket here, and obviously left is on the other side. It can be a little bit tricky. Make sure your chassis is facing the correct way. So your chassis will be, make sure it's also not upside down. Make sure it's facing the right way, which will be, if you are comparing it to our factory head unit, it will be facing towards the rear. And then make sure your bracket kit corresponds right to left. And then make sure you mount everything accordingly. You're going to feed your screen wire through here, just like so. Slide it through. And mount everything up. There will be 4 holes. There's one here. There's another one here, and you flip it around on the bottom, and the same 2 are in the same positions. There'll be 4 holes that will mount this bracket kit to the actual singled in itself. Now, once you got your screws in and your bracket kit is on, secure and fastened to your chassis, you are now going to take your bracket off of your head unit, and you're going to take this bracket off, and you're going to mount it here on the side of your head unit. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Again, this can vary per vehicle. I'm almost certain it's going to mount there. Again, you can change all this once you're actually mounting it up. I'm just doing this inside right now, and I will obviously get all this where it needs to be whenever it's actually getting mounted in the truck. this chassis will get mounted first, and you'll bolt it all in. And once it's bolted in, you will then attach your screen cord to your head unit like this, and then you will fold it up and then clip it in. And there's 4 clips you're going to pull off of either your factory head unit, or for me, I have an aftermarket. You'll pull those clips off, put those 4 clips on these corners. And now for your secondary mounting system is these push tabs. This is the female side that will go in the back of your chassis. You'll just stick these little push tabs in there. They just plop right in there. It will also come with a little bag of very small screws. You'll need a very small Phillips head screwdriver, something about this size. And you will take these little screws and you will screw these in, and you'll do the same thing on the screen itself. You will take these little yellow clips and you will position them to line up correspondingly to where you want all of this to be aligned. You have obviously multiple places to choose from as far as alignment. And you will take these little clips and you'll do the same thing. It's 2 little prongs, and you will screw them in the same way you screw these in. It's just the male side, and then you'll mount, you'll push it together, and then your head unit and your chassis will be mounted together and ready to put in the vehicle. I'm going to be attempting to do both of these mounting ways. If it works out, great. If not, we'll just go with one way. But my vehicle is going to be running about 8,000 watts of power to some very strong subwoofers, so a lot of vibration, a lot of shaking. I want to make sure this head unit can be as stable as possible. Okay, so as far as aligning these go, you will have to, this is how they will mount on the back of your screen. And since I have the bracket kit, the easiest way I can see to do this is I'm going to mount the bracket up with the bolts. I'm going to bolt it in place where it's supposed to go. And then I'm going to take these yellow clips, insert them to the back of this unit. I'm going to color this backside, or just a quick little dab of a green paint marker or something to identify where it's going to rest on the back of this, any of these slots. So now we're going to go out to the truck, and we're going to actually get to the installing part of this head unit. Alright, so you got your wiring harness here, and this is the, I'd say the easiest part. This is the plug and play part. You're just going to match up your connectors here. So you'll find a connector that matches one with your factory side, and you're just going to pair them up so you can see, I believe, yes, those 2 match. So a little bit hard to do this one-handed. We'll get in there just like that, clip in. You'll hear a click, and just because you hear a click does not mean your connector has fully seated. So even though it clicked, just give it a really good, firm, good squeeze. Just make sure you are really connected. You're gonna do this for every connector. Let's see, we have one right here. Make sure everything is matched up and everything has a pair. Let's see. There we go. Once you've got those plugged in, this black connector that will be at the end, have all your wires running to it. This black connector will plug in to the back of the head unit itself, which would go right there, right by that 15 amp fuse. So you're going to plug in right there. And then while you're here, make sure everything is plugged up off the back of here. You have lots of RCA inputs right here. If you have any subwoofers, plug those up. Any external RCA wires going out anywhere, plug those up. Your Wi-Fi and GPS is over here. Let's see if we can get a better angle of that. There's our Wi-Fi, GPS, antenna, all of that. It's back here, HDMI, all of your good stuff. It's right back there. USB ports, if you want to hook up USB, right here. It's right there. Yeah, that's everything as far as hooking all this up. So we're going to go ahead and actually hook up our wiring harness. Make sure it goes in, and then get a good bite. And I'll have to get 2 hands to really fasten that in, but make sure that's really well fastened, because that is your main harness going into your head unit. If that's not fastened well, it can glitch, or it may not even turn on. Just make sure that's in there really well. It's going to be a very tight fit, and it should be. On the front of your unit down here, you will have key, and you will have canvas. If your vehicle is equipped with canvas, specifically what you'd more or less care about is your steering wheel controls. If your vehicle is equipped with canvas controlled steering wheel controls, make sure that's selected. If it's not, set it to key. That just depends, and that varies per vehicle. Also, here's your rear view camera in. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and toss this unit back there and mount it up. All right, so where I'm at is, all I did was just shove this up there, and then I put my 2 front mounting bolts in. You will have one there and one there. Don't forget to put those in. I'm not putting those in for right now. But what I was talking about here on the front of the head unit, you have, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it says that little white switch, that's your key and canvas. It is currently set to key for my vehicle. You can kind of see it there. Your vehicle maybe needed to be set to canvas. Mine is set to key. Mine is a 2009 Toyota Tacoma base model with no JBL package. Therefore, I have to use the key, and I'm going to show you guys how to program those steering wheel controls for you here in just a second. Get everything ready, and then you just press it all in. It's just making sure you get everything in there. Flashers might go off. Bump them like I do. Just make sure all your corners get pressed in, and you're good to go. That's it. Quick turn your key on, make sure everything works. And if everything works, you've done everything right. If you need any help, any assistance with this, this manual is amazing. There's also a lot of instructions. And if you need any further assistance, if you buy this from CarTech Studio, they will be right there by your side helping you walk through this whole install. I'm hoping this video was very good for install. I'm also going to do a quick comparison at the end showing the difference between my cheap aftermarket head unit, which I have down here. This is the cheap aftermarket head unit with no processing, no chassis as they call it. This was it. This is exactly what plugged in. That's basically it. Yeah, it's quite impressive that they even sell these. But hey, get what you pay for. This was $100. But I will be doing a comparison on, I'll throw up a comparison chart here in a minute of the cheap Amazon, eBay head unit, and then your CarTech Studio versus your factory. So I'll kind of get a comparison table of all 3 of those, just so that way you can see what you're looking at. But once you get everything in, bump a key on, and make sure everything turns on and operates properly, and we're going to do that now. Very fast boot up time. These things boot up extremely fast. Already have my CarPlay set up and everything. It's going to pop right up. Very fast. I actually have never seen a head unit start this fast. Alright, so whenever you go to set your steering wheel controls, if you have to manually program them, this is how you do it, and it takes about 30 seconds. Super easy. I'm going to walk you through it right now. So you're going to go here. You're going to go to your settings. You're going to go to stay in common, and you might have to scroll down. You're going to have to scroll down some. You're going to scroll down until you see keys and learn. You're going to go to keys setting, and you're going to do SWC, stands for steering wheel controls, keys learning, and then you're on the page. So you're going to select the key you want to learn. So we're going to do volume up. This is our first one, and we're going to come over here to our steering wheel controls, and we're going to press and hold volume up. Now, if you do that, it'll say this study is successful according to health. Please select the next one, click, and save to end the study. So now we're just going to go through and we're going to do them all. So we'll do volume down, holding volume down, and there we go. We'll do our next, and we'll come over here and hit next. And then we'll do previous, come over here, do down, and then we'll do our SRC and our mode, and then we'll come down here and hit mode, just like that. We're gonna go right here and we're gonna hit save. Congratulations, they've been saved. Go back out and check, see if they work. And there you go. You can see as I go through, and you now have your steering wheel controls. At first, they actually sent me the wrong wiring harness. Whenever I ordered the head unit, it was this wiring harness right here. This was actually the wrong one for my vehicle. They wasted no time. CarTech Studio wasted no time in figuring out the issue. They stayed with me the whole time. They did not skip a beat. They literally contacted me every single day until we decided this was definitely not the right harness. And they sent me this new one, and here we go. Now I have my steering wheel controls and everything's working right. So these guys are awesome. This is the reason I really recommend using them. I'm just so stoked that I finally have steering wheel controls. I have never had steering wheel controls with an aftermarket head unit in this truck. The last time I had steering wheel controls was with my factory unit, and I took that out within the first 2 months of me owning it. So this is a big deal to me. I love these steering wheel controls. This is absolutely awesome. And these guys, they stayed in contact with me and made sure I got my steering wheel controls just like they promised. They 100% kept their word, and I'm very grateful that I'm able to work with these guys. All right, so real quick, I'm going to run through some of my favorite features about this head unit. So the biggest thing for me, obviously, first thing out front, this physical volume knob. This was a really big deal to me. Obviously, they are ensuring that you get your factory steering wheel controls, but some of these Toyotas do not have factory steering wheel controls, and if you don't, you at least get your physical volume button. That way, whenever you're driving down the road, you don't have to take your eyes off the road to look for your little touch buttons like all the other aftermarket, these cheap ones have. My previous one I had, you had to, it didn't matter how long I had it, you have no sense of feel on this screen. So you get a physical volume button that you do not have to actually look at to be able to turn your volume up and down. That was a big thing for me. It's got some very neat apps on it. Obviously, a lot of customization to the unit, like endless customization to this thing. Obviously, it'll support front camera, rear camera. It'll plug in if you have factory cameras, parking sensors, all of that. You can do all of that. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's got Bluetooth music. Lots of Bluetooth in it, lots of music. The car set app will tell you if you get the TPMS add-on, it's additional, I believe, $70. It'll tell you all your TPMS sensor pressures all around the vehicle, which ones are low. And it'll also tell you vehicle information itself if you get the OBD2. Another very cool thing is this unit has a fan integrated into the chassis. My old unit, the cheap unit I had, did not even have a chassis to begin with, but that alone, it would get extremely hot. There's actually lots of reviews of people saying they would explode, they would smoke, and I myself actually burnt myself on the back of the unit whenever I took it out one day, just from how hot it was getting. It burnt my finger from how hot that unit was getting. This unit, you'll never even have to worry about it because you have your own fan control app. You can get in here. See, it's really cool. It shows you your fan's actually on right now, and you can change where it comes in at. It's not just a factory preset. You have full customization over this, and as I turn it up, if you listen, you'll actually hear the fan kick on harder and harder. Very neat. I'm a huge fan of that. Obviously, I'm an audio head, so having a DSP inside of a head unit is very critical. Here's all your channels. Your EQ, these units have 46 bands of EQ. You heard that right, 46 bands of equalizer in them. That's 1 page, that's 2 page, and that is 3 pages of equalizer. And obviously, you got all front left, front rear, rear left, rear right, center, sub, and then you have multiple presets you can set. You have these link channels. They have your own presets if you don't want to do any of that. You got your own presets here. Again, 2 pages of this stuff. And then they also have your individual for each one. Absolutely amazing. Obviously your fade balance, your mode, and your actual part of your actual DSP. You can set your time alignment here. That's a huge thing. Your gains and your crossovers. And obviously crossovers all the way across the board on every single one of your speakers and your subwoofers. So got an awesome DSP built into it. Very high quality sound system in this unit. Very happy with it. I believe it's 55 watts a channel, which is phenomenal. Of course, you get the Play Store. Here you can download all sorts of apps once you log in, and again, lots of apps for customization, screensavers, and obviously it comes with YouTube Music, Spotify, Netflix. These are already pre-installed, but you can install more apps. And then, of course, CarPlay. Also, one thing to mention, the boot up time on this unit, which I know I already mentioned it, but it is literally crazy. I've never seen a head unit. I mean, as soon as the key's on, it's booted up, it's ready to go. It is absolutely phenomenal. And just how easy, how user-friendly, the manual they give you, it's got a whole troubleshooting section of it, like I think around 20 things to troubleshoot if you're having issues. And again, if none of those work, you get in contact with the guys over at CarTech Studio and they will get you taken care of. And this head unit goes up to 36, and then also if you press in, it'll mute it. Press out, turns it back on. Absolutely phenomenal unit. I am so glad I spent the money and got this unit. I really could not be happier. And just again to show you guys the boot up time, because that's another thing that's really got my mind blown. We can turn her off and turn it right back on. Boom, instantly. I mean, it's absolutely crazy how fast this thing will boot up. But those are some of my favorite features I have with this unit. Very good unit, highly recommend it.